Most people aren't actually lazy. That's the lie. See, you imagine laziness as a man lying on a couch doing nothing. But there's another kind, more dangerous, more silent, more common. It's the man who wakes up at 4 a.m., drags himself to a job he hates, suffers through the day, comes home exhausted, and repeats it again and again. And now you're probably thinking, that's not laziness, that's dedication. But here's the truth. It's not physical laziness. It's mental. That's the kind that keeps people stuck. Not because they are not working hard enough, but because they are too mentally lazy to stop and ask, is this actually leading anywhere? You can break your back and still go nowhere, because discipline alone means nothing if it's aimed in the wrong direction. Imagine a man in a room. In front of him, a thick concrete wall. He punches it, kicks it, bleeds on it. Day after day, year after year. People admire his effort. Look how hard he works. But he's not getting anywhere. Not because he's weak, but because he never stopped to look around. Right next to the wall, a glass door, unlocked, always was. But he never tried to open it, never even questioned the wall. He kept hitting it just because everyone else was hitting it too. Blinded by the crowd, he never stopped to ask if there was another way. He was so busy proving how tough he was, he never realized toughness wasn't the answer. Clarity was. And that's how most people live. Not lazy in action, lazy in thought. Too lazy to question the path, too scared to look stupid, too afraid to be different. So they follow the script. Go to school, get a job, work, retire, die. And inside they're quietly dying much earlier. Not because they didn't try, but because they never stopped to ask, is this even my path? And so they stay stuck, burnt out, empty, rewarded for obedience, but robbed of meaning. And here's the final trap. The system loves people like that. Loyal, obedient, predictable. It gives you just enough to keep you moving, but never enough to set you free. You trade your time for money, your dreams for security, your creativity for routine. And one day, you'll wake up at 60, 70, and realize you gave the best years of your life to a game you never wanted to play in the first place. You don't have to wait. You don't need permission. You don't need a perfect plan. You need courage to question, to pivot, to try, to fail, to think for your damn self. Start that business, launch that YouTube channel, write that script, sell that product, test that idea, learn what leverage means and how to use it. And I understand some people can be truly happy in their 9 to 5, fulfilled, at peace. But even then, everyone should pause and ask themselves, is this really the life I chose, or just the one I ended up in? Am I truly happy, or just comfortable? Because comfort isn't the same as meaning, and autopilot isn't the same as freedom. Most people drift, not because they can't dream, but because they stop believing it mattered. But the truth is, your dreams aren't impossible. They're just expensive. And the currency is risk, effort, and the willingness to actually think, to face the truth, to question your path, to ask the hard questions no one wants to ask. Most people pay with sweat. Very few pay with clarity. But without that mental cost, if you avoid the discomfort of reflection, you'll work your whole life and never move an inch closer. You'll pay something worse, a life of regret. So this is your wake-up call, not the kind that makes you feel good, but the kind that makes you change. So stop smashing your head into walls just because everyone else does. Start looking for doors, and this time, Walk through them. Before you click away, what's one belief you followed your whole life that you've never actually questioned? Leave it in the comments, not just to share, but to signal that you're one of us. See, most people won't get this. They'll hear it, maybe nod, and move on. But if you're still here, it's because something in you refuses to settle. Something in you sees through the script. This isn't just a video, it's a mirror. For people who've always felt off in a world that rewards sleepwalkers. So if you're building something deeper, if you're thinking differently, if you're tired of being surrounded by people who just don't get it, then hit subscribe. Because this corner of the internet isn't for everyone. It's for the ones who look around and quietly whisper, "There's got to be more than this." And deep down, you already know there is. We're just crazy enough to go find it together. See you in the next one.